I started martial arts late in my life with a gentleman, Masaharu Sakimukai. He was the founder of Shintokan Karate Do. I think the first dojos, obviously in Japan, and then expanded around the globe. But he happened to have one in Jacksonville, Florida, and I mean, this is 25 years ago. I had found him through a friend, and Mr. Saki Mukai was a true master in the art of Budo, karate, Jodo, Iaido, the Japanese tea ceremony, a true artist, but somebody that, if he had to, could really hurt people. I've always been interested in the Eastern philosophy and specifically their style of martial arts. So I went to meet this man. Pulled up in my car, I had suit and tie on, and I had called ahead of time. In my first lesson with him, I was in my early 30s, I think. And I walked into the meeting with my sunglasses on my head, just being casual, even though I was dressed up. And he offered me a seat and he says, "Oh, are you a businessman?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Oh, do you wear your sunglasses on your head when you go to business meetings?" And my answer was obvious: no. Then why do you wear here? And at that moment, I knew, number one, he was interviewing me, but number two, this is exactly what I needed. And, Mr. Saki Mukai passed away at a very young age. Um, and it was obviously devastating for me, but I was able, under his tutelage, to get all the way up to my third degree black belt at the time. I was spending 15 to 20 hours a week training with this man one-on-one. We weren't just training a martial arts, as I learned later. I got a lot of lessons that are applicable in life, not the least of which is etiquette. I had invited my family to a function at our dojo, and my family got there before I did. I wasn't late. They just arrived before I did. And you never invite guests to your home or to a function, and they get there before you do. It's extremely disrespectful, for sure, in the Japanese culture, but even here in the US. I would never invite somebody to our home for something like a dinner and then I come in later. And instead of doing the demonstration that I was supposed to do, I got punished essentially for about 45 minutes. My mom, my dad, my aunt and uncle, so on and so forth, watched this as a grown man. And those lessons were countless and countless, where he was building integrity and etiquette and courage and ambition into me, even though I was in my 30s, almost into my 40s. The man was just amazing, because these dojos, typically, if they're a traditional old school dojo, they're not handing out black belts and brown belts, meaning they're not there to make money. They're there to make an impact on the individual that's there. And watching this man fulfill his dream of having his own standalone dojo that was built from the ground to finished product was nothing but amazing because he had an ambition and he never wavered from it. He saw it and he couldn't unsee it. And that is how he lived his life every day. And his son, Yoshi Sakimukai, now runs the schools around the world. And I've learned a lot from Yoshi as well. But I am very thankful that I had such an impact on my life.